All right, beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, in which we're going to be talking about some stuff that's made some waves online. Maybe it's not that big, but it's going to be addressing not only how I deal with Pimax, but how I deal with other companies. And just kind of want to call them out, let them know. And by the time you guys are seeing this, I've already sent them a message and let them know where I stand moving forward. So let's get into it. And here we go. All right, guys, so it was brought to my attention, and it's funny because I had seen Pimax post a video response here this week, and I saw the first minute and a half, and I had to click away. But it only made sense to me after somebody else mentioned that that video was a response to an issue that had happened on Reddit. Pimax employee caught offering essentially, for better lack of better words, cash. You know, they were trying to essentially promote positive reviews for Pimax. So that's terrible. It's devastating. You know, I think it really adding incentives to give a positive review it's scummy because it takes away from people like myself who, the dogs are barking, I apologize, who do reviews and create content. And we're not looking to get paid or have good deals or, you know, get hooked up with Steam gift cards or anything else. So, I mean, this message is really for Pimax and for anybody else I ever partner with. And also for you guys to let you know where I stand, right? So essentially, the employee was telling people on, I don't know if it was Reddit or Discord, hey, look, if you do this, so many positive words, positive notes, you get this in return. And that person took a stand and said, hey, look, this is terrible. I think you guys are wrong for doing this. And then posted that online, screenshots of the whole conversation. So, you know, good on them for doing that. I think that was really good. And it put a fire under Pimax, telling them, hey, look, guys, this is not acceptable. So why does this matter? You know, I think this is critical because as a content creator myself, I have partnered with Pimax. I've bought most of my headsets that I have. In fact, I think I've bought all of my headsets except one. I've gotten multiple headsets on loan. I often get products either on loan to me or at times they'll say, hey, look, we're going to send you this product free of charge. Give us a review. And as a content creator, this is what I like. I like when a company says, hey, Jose, we're going to send you this patch and, you know, tell us what you think about it. Enjoy it, use it, whatever. And I do. I get to use a product. Sometimes they'll send me an email with photos, right? These are product photos and then some of the details on it. And it's my job as a content creator to put out the best review for you guys. So that means I will do homework on the product myself. I'll go to the website. I'll see what other people are saying. You know, what's Reddit saying? What's my Facebook group saying? What's Discord saying? And then once I have a good idea on the product, I'll bring you guys a review on it and let you know what I think. Because the truth is, I don't always get to see all the angles on it. I don't always get to see the pros and the cons. Or based on my setup, I might have a great experience only to find out that people with AMD cards, it's not working, right? So it falls on me as a content creator to do the right thing, to do the homework, to get a good review out for you guys. So Pimax's response was quick. Within a matter of a few days, they had to respond to this post because this was going on Reddit, which Pimax is very active on Reddit. They're active on their social media, on Facebook, Discord, everything else. And so they admitted their mistake and they said, look, this was an error. In fact, we're taking actions to prevent this. We're trying to train people within our company on how to communicate and how not to do things like this. They want to have their transparency. And so, look, I think Job did the right thing. He made a video and they said that this has been handled and dealt with. Now, they even said, like, no one has been paid for a positive review. And I will tell you, hands down, my communication with Pimax has never had anything like that in it. And in fact, I think Pimax has been, you know, right up there with the other companies I work with. In fact, they send me the product and they say, hey, look, here's a product. The only thing I think Pimax has asked has been, can you put a review out by this date? That's the only restriction they've given me, the only thing that they've asked of me. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, you know, or you sometimes get an embargo, meaning here's a product, don't talk about it, don't say anything about it until this date, you know, because there are certain products I'll have sitting here which you guys don't know about and I can't talk about because it's not public just yet. So it's cool. I get to work behind the scenes working with the company. And then when they release a product on a certain date, again, all content creators go through that. You have an embargo for whether it's software or hardware. So that's nothing new there. But Pimax, WinWing, all the companies I've worked with, they've allowed me to have creativity and freedom to create the video that I want. They literally just send me the product and say, Jose, we have this. Would you like to see it? And I appreciate that. And that's where I want to be with the company. So my personal policy, I had to come up with something because I was thinking about this. So is I create content. This is what I want you guys to know. And I kind of made some notes here. Because I think I owe it to you guys. That way you guys know, where does Jose stand? What does, he do? And hopefully you guys see my content. You see, hey, I like him. He creates good content and I like how he does this stuff. Because sometimes people get upset in my videos when I say, look, this was sent to me for review. And I realized in my last video, I didn't say this was sent to me on loan. Someone's like, oh, you got this for free, I'm out. And I'm like, yo, this product's on loan. Like, I don't get to keep it. And I didn't mention that, but somebody got mad because the product was given to me for review. So number one, integrity first, right? All my reviews, my goal is to be honest and unbiased, whether I paid for the product, whether it was given to me on loan, free, whatever the case. That's my commitment to you guys. Also, I'm going to be transparent, right? I want you guys to know and disclose any partnerships that I have. If Pimax is sponsoring a video, if anybody is sponsoring a video, we are supposed to click that little thing that pops up on the videos. This has been sponsored. When I went on that trip with Microsoft, technically that was a sponsorship. They flew me out to Arizona. Cool. So I checked that off. They did not pay for anything while I was there, but they gave me airfare and hotel. And I wanted you guys to know, hey, Microsoft essentially sponsored this trip for me to fly out to check out Microsoft Flight Sim. And that was really cool. I think it's the least we could do, to have that transparency with you guys, disclose partnerships, review units. You guys deserve to know that. And it's the law. That's how we're supposed to do things. So when people don't do that, it's shady, because then you might not think that, or you might not be aware that there's maybe a motive there. That's why the law is there. So that was number two. Number three, community engagement, right? I respond to comments as much as I can. I want to engage with you guys. I take feedback seriously. I always ask, leave me some comments below. I'm an air traffic controller. I'm not a pilot. Clearly if I'm doing something wrong on my landing, send it. And that's why I love being a controller, because I'm not a real pilot. So I can kind of do funky things. And I have some of my pilot friends who they post perfect videos about shooting ILSs, and I'm all over the sky, baby. I'm just having fun, trying to learn out there with you guys. And sometimes I'll get, they'll watch my video. I have friends who are captains these guys fly for Delta, American Airlines. Some of these guys have their own private jets. And, they'll send me a message like, hey, that was a crazy landing, or that we wouldn't do that. We would go around. And I'm like, hey, man, you know how I do. Just living on the edge here in VR. So I appreciate the feedback, the comments. I try to respond, and I do not delete comments. I'll tell you, in all of my history on YouTube, I've deleted 3 comments, good or bad. I leave them up. I try to respond to most of them. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes people get really weird on YouTube and they're keyboard warriors. So you guys type all sorts of weird, mean things. And people have spoken about my beard. I mean, I like my beard. So I digress. Now, I do want to have respect for the partnerships that I have, right? And the people that I work with. I want them to know if they give me a product, I will be respectful. I will give them critical feedback. I will be honest, because my allegiance is to the community, to do right by you guys. So whether or not, again, I get the product for free, it's paid for, whatever, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm going to give them the best feedback that I can as someone who's in this industry. I've been flying in VR for 11 years. And in fact, my first video flying in VR was posted 11 years ago yesterday, 11 years ago. That was in DCS. And I'm going to link it below so you guys can see how different my first video in VR was. In fact, it's one of the first few videos DCS had up, or I think DCS VR online with the Oculus DK1. If you know what that is, Oculus DK1. So my goal for the community, guys, I know it's long-winded, but look, man, I'm just here to chat a little bit, and hopefully you guys are here for it. My goal is to not hype up gear too much, although I'm guilty of it, and I will, sometimes I get so excited. I think things are so cool. Not everyone values things the same way, right? I'm a Boeing guy, Airbus, I'll rock with it, F-16, most definitely. F-18, meh, don't kill me, people. If you know about the Jesus nut, on the helicopters, I love my helicopters. I gotta watch out for the Mafia Don, but again, I want to make sure you guys watch a video that's hopefully worth your time. You guys aren't paying me to watch these videos, but you're paying me in time, right? So you're watching here, you're still here on this video. And if I'm not honest with you guys, if I'm not being transparent with you guys, I'm losing. I'm doing something wrong here. And another thing is, the way I run my channel. So this channel, it started in the pandemic, like I said, and my goal is to share my passion for aviation, VR, flight simulation, real world flying. Sometimes some of you guys have reached out and said, "Hey man, I have a plane. Do you want to go flying?" And that is the coolest thing in the world to me. But my perspective from an air traffic controller is different, right? As opposed to a pilot. So I try to bring that twist to the table. And I run a family friendly channel, meaning, I try to be the same person I am on camera that I am off camera. I don't curse on here. I create content that my kids could watch, right? Some of my favorite content creators, I put them on and these guys are just cursing up a storm and I'm like, yo, what happened, dog? Like, I mean, I get it. Maybe if that's what you're here for, but that's not what I'm here for. So I try to create clean content across the board and hopefully you guys appreciate that. And finally, God, I've given some of these numbers and I haven't read them all. I want to continue improving. Number 7. I want to constantly look for ways to make my videos better, to continue posting maybe once a week. I don't always get to do that. I know I fall way short of that. But as I kind of simplify life, if you guys don't know, we're moving right now. I'm moving in 7 days. I get off this, I upload this video and I go pack boxes. And outside of from that, I have my wife, my kids, my family, my life. And, I appreciate that time off, right? Off of work, creating content is a lot of work. You guys might not see it, but there's lights here. I have to turn on everything, get the fan going, drop the AC, check my microphone, get the lights, camera, action going. I enjoy it. I enjoy creating this content for you guys, but also I always try to find different ways to improve, make better content. So as I wrap up this long video here, making a long story long. All right, guys, so future me here, I was watching that outro and it was kind of terrible. It was, I don't know what I was saying. I was rambling there. I think I lost my mind. In fact, I'm kind of hot. I just lowered the AC. So I think Pimax has responded. We just have to watch them and hope they do better, and I think they will. And we need companies like Pimax to further the industry. There's a couple other players in the field, and they're doing good, but Pimax is kind of leading the charge. So Pimax, do better, stay focused, bring quality content, and don't buy reviews. Don't let your people send out DMs. Give your team freedom, but that's not it. Buying reviews is not the way to go. This goes for Pimax. This goes for anyone. My commitment to you guys, the community, I plan to bring you good, quality, solid, honest content. And if I fall short of something, let me know in the comments below. If you think I could do something better, drop it down in the comments. Just give me some feedback, whether my landing was bad or whether I missed something in a product review. Guys, I don't always get things right, and I don't always get all the information. I try to do my homework and do the best that I can. So that's my commitment to you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. And stay tuned. A lot more content coming. I mean, a lot more. Flight Sim Expo next month. So excited. I got to go pack. Peace out. All right, I got to record the video. I love you, bud.
No.
Close the door.
The hell? I see something. Helicopter Jesus nut.
It's the Jesus nut.
Nutshell, more like.
All right, let me go. Let me finish this. Go. Out. Close the door.